Hi guys, it's me, Teacher Nick again. I'm back online. I'm going to be doing the question 1B, so make sure that you've watched the previous video. Okay, the previous video is the question 1A. That's quite a long video. I'm going to try and keep this video nice and short to make sure that we are ready for the exam, I think is tomorrow. Okay, now keep in mind everything you're going to learn that you learned in the question 1A. You're going to be using a lot of that information to make sure that you're successful in questions 2, 3, or 4. I'm going to try and have a chance to do some text types, things that you need to think about in the questions 2, 3, and 4 a little bit later today. But let's crack on with question 1B. Okay, so what is reflective commentary? So the reflective commentary, you're writing about what you did, okay, in your questions 1A. So the question you're asking yourself is, how did I show this? How did I achieve this in the question? So these are the things that you need to be thinking about, okay? Have you made effective language choices? So are you using the right words or the right phrases to make sure that you sustain, that you keep the appropriate style of the text? Okay, so how did I show this? How did I achieve this? Point, evidence, explain. Okay, have you stuck to the key conventions of the form you have chosen? Okay, so remember all of the things that I said in question 1A. Now you are writing about how did I show this? How did I achieve this? Okay. Have you kept a focus on the details you were given in the question? Okay. Because you need to make sure you have not gone off task. Make sure you stay on task. Planning is a good way to do this. Okay. Teacher Adna, in her video, she's got a great video on how to plan to be effective in your 1A. Now you are focusing on how did I show this? How did I achieve this? Is the mood, okay, or the feeling that you are meant to express that's asked in the question, how did you show this? How did you achieve this? I achieved this way. We're going to have a look at some of the student examples from the texts that we saw the other day. Okay, in what way did I write in the appropriate style and format? Okay, again, that's going back to your key conventions, but this is also sentence structures. This is language structures, paragraph structures. All of those things we're still thinking about. Okay, did I include the details that were requested in the question? How did I show the details? How do I achieve those details? Okay, so we know the question, okay, the same question that we were looking at in questions 1A, the leaflet about leaving home. I'm not going to talk about the question here. You need to watch the other video to make sure that you understand how to read the question clearly. Okay, we're focusing on 1B here. So 1B is our focus. So 1B says, write a reflective commentary on your text, explaining how your linguistic choices, words, your structural features, your language features, okay, contribute to fulfilling the task set by your head teacher. And it's that set by your head teacher that is so important. All the questions will have a section here, and this is where you write about how did I achieve the task set by my head teacher. I achieved the task set by my head teacher by doing this. You've only got 15 minutes for this part of the question. Okay, guys, remember it's only worth 10 marks. So you're hoping to write a minimum of about 175 words, somewhere between 175 and 250 words. Okay, just because it's roundabout there. Now the question doesn't say, I've added this in. But this is your target. Your target is about 175, 200 words roundabout there. Okay, This is commanded by time. This is time management. You've got 15 minutes to get through this. Make sure that you are precise, concise, and to the point. Asking yourself, how did I show this? How did I achieve this? So let's have a look at the student samples of the reflective writing. And I still haven't figured out how to upload the text into the bottom of the video. Okay, if anybody's got any ideas, please send them to me. So, first student example. So, if you remember from the first video where we discussed question 1A, we had student sample A. So this is the reflective commentary that the student wrote. And I want you to notice some of the things that the student has done here. Okay, phrases like, I utilize the second person, so there's my point, you, there's my quote, to directly address the audience. This makes the leaflet more personal. So here is a point, a quote, an explain, and a define. Okay, the purpose of making of directly addressing the audience. The purpose was, the effect is that it makes the leaflet more personal. That is how you are writing. You're writing in that first person, which can be difficult. And you're writing positively. Writing positively about what you have done and how you have shown it, how you have achieved the effect, thinking about the question. Okay. The structure of this leaflet is composed of subheadings. For example, mental state, point, quote. I used subheadings so the audience knows what the paragraph is about before reading it. I also utilized them to make the text attractive to readers, therefore persuading them to read it. Point, quote, explain, expand. Okay. I would have maybe put these into some separate paragraphs, but overall, if you have a look at this text, and I would read it for myself, okay, you guys can pause the video at any time. I don't need to pause it for you, okay, but have a read through what the student has done here. The student is doing point, evidence, explain throughout the text. Yes, it's great. Yes, the student would receive about, I'm guessing, an 8 out of 10 for this text. Let's have a look at student sample B. Okay. Again, I would suggest pausing, okay, and having a read through the text before I discuss it. So pause now. Okay, so you've paused and you've been through the text. So again, sample B, again, this is the student's reflective commentary that we saw in the previous video. So if you haven't watched it, please go back and make sure you watch that previous video. It's got their sample text. This is the reflective. I chose to use subheadings to structure my text and bullet points when giving examples of how to get to know your surroundings and how to stay safe, to clearly show the leaflet conventions, key conventions, okay? I used a variety of punctuation in order to add clarity. Now you'll notice the student doesn't necessarily go and actually quote the punctuation. Here they're discussing the punctuation in an overview, but then they delve deeper into it, okay? And they focus on using the colon, so they could have actually, by using the punctuation colon and using that as a word, that would have been fine, and precision by using commas within brackets. Now that's much better because now we're actually identifying the punctuation that is being used, okay? I chose to use a fairly casual tone, mentioning leaving the fam and staying in a dorm. These are all very, very good points. Take your time to read through it. Again, I would guess that this would probably get a 7 to an 8 out of 10. Let's have a look at how you're being marked. So, how are you being assessed? This is the only, well, this is not the only information, but this is the guidance that examiners are given. The guidance says, okay, the responses would focus on form, structure, and language. The responses might focus on how the stylistic choices of form, structure, and language relate to audience and shape meaning. So this is the same kind of thing that we assess when you're doing your paper 1, okay, your textual analysis. This is the same information. Okay, let's actually look at how the marks are awarded. So again, analyze the ways in which writers and speakers choose choices of form, structure, and language shape meaning. That is your focus. You created those effects when you wrote the 1A, so you know what effects you created. Your focus is still on form, then on structure, then on language. Okay? We want to know how the writers, that's you're the writer. The writer's choices relate to audience and shape meaning. That is your focus. Okay. So form, structure, and language, it's still that. The only difference is now you are analyzing the text, okay, to show how did you create those effects. What did you do? Point, evidence, explain. Okay, this has been a short video, guys. If you got questions, please post the questions. I'll try to get to them. I've been getting some great questions from students, so thank you very, very much. And I'm going to try and do another video on the different text types that you might expect in the questions 2, 3, and 4 just after this. But best of luck. Okay. Please, guys, my channel's Crazy Teacher Nick. Share it. Big thank you to everybody for all the likes, for all the shares, for all the subscribers. I really appreciate it at this moment. This really means a lot to me. Also, go and check out teacher Adna's channel, EngliLearn. There is a link below that you can click on to go and see her channels. Best advice on the internet at the moment. And guys, as always, please comment, ask questions. I'm there to help as best as I can. Good luck tomorrow and rock on.